Have you ever stopped mid-bite to wonder if that innocent slice of bread could actually be harming your body? Recent studies show that up to 70% of supermarket loaves contain added sugars, chemical dough conditioners, and sodium levels so high they rival a fast food meal. Could your daily sandwich be undermining your blood sugar, blood pressure, and even your joint health without you even realizing it? In today's video, we're revealing the 4 breads you should never touch and the 4 you absolutely must eat. Before we dive in, let me know in the comments below where you're watching from. I'd love to say hello. Now let's get started. Number 1, ultra-processed white sandwich bread with high fructose corn syrup. Let's dive deeper into that mass-produced supermarket white bread you see stacked high on shelves. On the surface, it looks innocent, soft, fluffy, perfect for a quick sandwich. But beneath that pillowy exterior lurks a host of nutrition compromises. First, the wheat flour is stripped of its bran and germ, leaving behind mostly the starchy endosperm. That means nearly all of the fiber, B vitamins, magnesium, and antioxidants are long gone. To replace some lost nutrients, manufacturers often fortify or enrich the bread, but these isolated vitamins don't equate to the synergistic benefits of the intact whole grain kernel. Next comes the villain of added sugars, usually high fructose corn syrup. Studies show that high fructose corn syrup can drive greater insulin resistance compared to table sugar because the combination of glucose and fructose in this sweetener challenges the liver's metabolic pathways more intensely. For seniors, whose insulin sensitivity naturally declines with age, daily consumption of such sugar-laced bread can accelerate the onset of type 2 diabetes and contribute to fatty liver issues. Then there's the sodium. A single slice of ultra-processed white bread can contain 200–250 milligrams of sodium. If you pop 2 slices into a sandwich, you're already at nearly 500 milligrams, about 20% of the recommended daily limit for someone on a 2,000 milligram sodium diet. Excessive sodium intake, especially common among older adults prone to hypertension, forces the body to retain water, strains the heart, and can precipitate swelling in the ankles and legs. But let's not stop there. To maintain that outrageously soft texture and extended shelf life, manufacturers add a cocktail of dough conditioners and preservatives, datem, diacetyl tartaric acid ester of mono and diglycerides, azodicarbonamide, calcium propionate, and more. Azodicarbonamide, in particular, has raised eyebrows. In some animal studies, it breaks down into semicarbazide, a compound that has exhibited carcinogenic potential. While the quantities in bread are small, a lifetime of daily consumption may lead to bioaccumulation, especially in seniors whose detoxification systems operate less efficiently. Moreover, by removing so much of the natural fiber and phytonutrient matrix, this bread triggers a rapid glycemic response. Glucose floods the bloodstream, followed by a powerful insulin spike, then a crash. Over time, this roller coaster pattern contributes to chronic inflammation, linked in older adults to joint pain, cognitive decline, and accelerated aging of blood vessels. In short, ultra-processed white sandwich bread with high fructose corn syrup is a comfort food that compromises cardiovascular health, blood sugar stability, and inflammatory balance. Seniors seeking stable energy, heart protection, and digestive regularity will want to steer clear and reach instead for breads with intact grains and minimal additives. Number 2, packaged flavored and sweetened breads, banana nut, cinnamon swirl, etc. Those pre-sliced banana nut or cinnamon swirl loaves may look like a convenient snack or a special breakfast treat, but they're essentially cake in disguise and not the homemade kind. These breads begin with refined white or enriched wheat flour, which, as we've seen, is devoid of fiber and natural nutrients. Then manufacturers pump in sugar, often between 10 and 15 grams per slice, along with artificial flavorings, colors, and preservatives. Artificial cinnamon or banana flavor usually comes from synthesized compounds rather than real extracts. For example, Banana flavor often relies on isoamyl acetate derived chemically, lacking the full spectrum of antioxidants and micronutrients you'd find in actual bananas. Similarly, cinnamon swirl frequently contains just the flavor oil, not whole ground bark, robbing you of the anti-inflammatory polyphenols that true cinnamon delivers. Pop a slice of this sweetened loaf into your toaster or eat it straight from the bag, and you'll quickly log a hefty 200 to 250 calories, yet feel no real satiety because there's virtually zero protein and minimal fiber. For seniors juggling appetite changes or muscle maintenance, empty calories like these can lead to overeating, unwanted weight gain, and metabolic stress. Let's talk fats. To achieve tenderness and richness, these breads incorporate hydrogenated vegetable oils or palm oil. Hydrogenated fats contain trans fatty acids, which medical research conclusively links to higher LDL, bad cholesterol, and lower HDL, good cholesterol. Trans fats also promote systemic inflammation, exacerbating conditions like osteoarthritis and vascular stiffness, common challenges for older adults. Preservatives such as calcium propionate and sorbic acid make the loaves shelf-stable for weeks, but they're not innocent bystanders. Calcium propionate, while effective at inhibiting mold, can upset gut flora and has been implicated in behavioral issues in sensitive populations. Seniors whose microbiomes are already less diverse risk further disruption to immune function and digestive comfort. Number 3, rapid rise frozen or ready-to-bake dough. Frozen dinner rolls or ready-to-bake breadsticks promise the fresh-baked aroma we all love with barely any effort. But look closer at the ingredient list and you'll find a rapid rise formula pumped full of dough enhancers like ascorbic acid, azodicarbonamide, bromate compounds, and sometimes cyclodextrins or sodium phosphates. These ingredients force the dough to proof in as little as 30 minutes, bypassing the slow fermentation that naturally breaks down anti-nutrients and develops flavor. Take potassium bromate, for example. It strengthens dough but has been classified as a possible carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. While many countries ban bromate in baked goods, it still slips into some US products. The concern is cumulative. Consuming trace amounts regularly over years could increase cancer risk, particularly worrisome for seniors whose DNA repair mechanisms are less robust. Then there's azodicarbonamide, favored for its bleaching and maturing effects. In the oven, it decomposes into semicarbazide and urethane, both suspect in animal studies for carcinogenicity. Although industry regulators assert typical levels are safe, the margin of safety narrows as detox pathways slow with age. Beyond chemical additives, ready-to-bake doughs also rely heavily on refined flour. Even if the package touts enriched flour, those added vitamins lack the full spectrum of cofactors found in natural whole grains. The result is a product with a glycemic index comparable to table sugar. For older adults, repeated intake contributes to insulin resistance, increased inflammation, and the metabolic syndrome cluster, hypertension, high triglycerides, and excess waist circumference. Portion control is another pitfall. Individually wrapped rolls or mini loaves invite overeating. It's all too easy to bake and consume several without noticing. Each roll can pack 150, 180 calories with minimal fiber or protein to blunt hunger. For seniors striving to maintain muscle mass and blood sugar stability, these empty calorie bombs offer no real nutritional payoff. Even the fats in these doughs, usually soybean oil or palm oil, add excess omega-6 fatty acids, tipping the delicate omega-6, omega-3 balance toward inflammation. Over decades, that imbalance can exacerbate joint pain, cardiovascular risk, and cognitive decline. Number 4, bread with artificial preservatives, colors, and flavors. Brightly colored sandwich wraps, novelty-shaped kids' breads, or bargain bin loaves often hide behind lengthy ingredient lists filled with artificial preservatives, sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate, colors, red 40, yellow 5, and natural flavors that remain undefined. To the mature eater, these additives should send up red flags. Start with artificial colors. Derived from petroleum, dyes like red 40 and yellow 5 have been studied for potential links to hyperactivity in children, but the concern extends into adulthood. Emerging research suggests these compounds can disrupt mitochondrial function and generate oxidative stress, which contributes to neurodegenerative processes such as Alzheimer's disease. Seniors who naturally face increased oxidative damage risk worsening cognitive decline when regularly ingesting such dyes. Then there are emulsifiers, polysorbate 80 carboxymethylcellulose, added to improve mouthfeel and extend softness. Animal models show chronic intake of these emulsifiers can erode the protective mucus lining of the gut, triggering low-grade intestinal inflammation and increased permeability, leaky gut. For older adults, a compromised gut barrier means greater systemic exposure to bacterial endotoxins, fueling chronic inflammation linked to arthritis flare-ups, skin conditions, and even insulin resistance. The catch-all natural flavors category can include everything from MSG derivatives to unidentified flavor enhancers. While natural sounds harmless, these extracts often undergo extensive chemical processing, stripping away any original health benefits and leaving behind potent excitotoxins. For seniors whose blood-brain barriers can become more permeable with age, these excitotoxins may traverse more readily into neural tissue, potentially exacerbating headaches, dizziness, or subtle cognitive disturbances over time. For bread, you must eat number 1, 100% whole grain sourdough. If you choose only one bread to elevate your health, make it genuine 100% whole grain sourdough. This ancient expression of bread stems from a live culture of wild yeasts and lactobacilli working in harmony to slowly ferment the dough. That slow fermentation is key. It activates phytases that break down phytic acid, an anti-nutrient in whole grains that otherwise binds essential minerals, magnesium, zinc, iron, and impairs absorption. By reducing phytic acid, sourdough makes those minerals more bioavailable, a boon for seniors who often need extra support for bone density and vascular health. Blood sugar control is another major win. Because sourdough's organic acids, lactic and acetic acid, and the partial breakdown of starches slow gastric emptying, its glycemic index hovers around 53 to 54, substantially lower than typical white bread's 70 plus. This translates to a more gradual rise in blood glucose and insulin, minimizing the risk of postprandial spikes that strain pancreatic function and contribute to insulin resistance over time. For mature bodies, this steadiness protects metabolic health and energy levels throughout the day. Let's talk gut health. The beneficial bacteria in a sourdough starter produce short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, such as butyrate, propionate, and acetate during fermentation and later in the colon when residual fibers feed our resident microbes. SCFAs nourish colonocytes, support tight junction integrity, and have anti-inflammatory effects locally and systemically. A robust SCFA production correlates with improved immune regulation, mood stabilization via the gut-brain axis, and reduced risk of colorectal issues, profoundly relevant for seniors wanting to safeguard digestive comfort and overall vitality. Nutritionally, 100% whole grain sourdough delivers 4 to 5 grams of combined fiber per 2 slices, supplying both soluble and insoluble fibers. Insoluble fiber aids transit time, preventing common age-related constipation, while soluble fiber forms a viscous gel that can bind cholesterol in the gut, aiding excretion and supporting cardiovascular health. Slice it thinly, top with avocado and smoked salmon for omega-3s and vitamin D, or pair with nut butter and berries for balanced macronutrients. Flavor and satisfaction also matter. Sourdough's nuanced tang encourages mindful bites, sensual satisfaction, and portion control, key elements in appetite regulation. Rather than mindlessly stacking empty calories, seniors can savor each mouthful, enhancing both pleasure and nutrition. Number 2, sprouted whole grain bread. Sprouted grain bread takes whole grains one step further. Kernels are germinated until tiny shoots appear, then dried and milled into flour. This germination process activates endogenous enzymes that break down complex starches into simpler, more digestible sugars and dramatically reduces phytic acid, often by 50 to 70%. The result is a bread that's easier on the digestive system, especially helpful for seniors prone to bloating or mild intolerances to standard whole grain products. Sprouted breads boast a richer amino acid profile. While wheat proteins alone are low in lysine, sprouting elevates lysine content, yielding a more balanced plant-based protein. A 2-slice serving delivers around 5 to 6 grams of protein, modest on its own, but significant in the context of a balanced meal. Maintaining muscle mass is crucial for seniors combating sarcopenia. Combining sprouted bread with eggs, lean poultry, or legumes provides a synergistic protein boost. Mineral bioavailability takes center stage with sprouted grains. Enhanced enzyme activity releases calcium, magnesium, and iron from bound complexes, facilitating absorption. This is critical for bone health and cardiovascular muscle function. Additionally, sprouting elevates vitamin C content, often absent in grains, further enhancing iron absorption and providing antioxidant support. The fiber in sprouted breads includes resistant starch, which escapes digestion in the small intestine and ferments in the colon, feeding beneficial bacteria and promoting SCFA production. Resistant starch has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and lipid metabolism, double wins for seniors facing metabolic concerns and heart health. Sprouted breads are also rich in B vitamins, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, supporting energy metabolism and neurological function. Mood regulation benefits from adequate B vitamins, which facilitate neurotransmitter synthesis, an important consideration for older adults aiming to preserve mental clarity and emotional balance. Flavor-wise, sprouted grain breads offer a subtle nuttiness and hearty texture. Toast it lightly to unlock toasty aromas, then top with almond ricotta and fresh herbs for a protein-packed snack, or pair with grilled vegetables and lean protein for a balanced lunch. Number 3, dark rye or mixed seed rye bread. Dark rye bread stands out for seniors thanks to its unique fiber, seed enhancements, and dense nutrient profile. Unlike wheat, rye is rich in arabinoxylan, a soluble fiber that forms a viscous matrix in the gut, significantly slowing glucose uptake and lowering the glycemic response. Studies demonstrate that rye bread yields smaller insulin peaks and steadier blood sugar curves, essential for preventing insulin resistance and protecting vascular endothelium from glycemic stress. Mixed seed rye takes this up a notch by incorporating flax, sunflower, pumpkin, and sesame seeds. Flax seeds bring alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that combats inflammation and supports joint health. Pumpkin seeds deliver magnesium and zinc. Magnesium relaxes smooth muscle in blood vessels, aiding healthy blood pressure, while zinc underpins immune competence and wound healing. Sunflower seeds contribute vitamin E, a potent antioxidant guarding cell membranes from oxidative damage, and sesame seeds supply lignans like sesamin, which have cholesterol-lowering and liver-protective properties. Protein content in rye is also noteworthy. A single 2-slice serving can provide 6 to 8 grams of plant protein, a helpful adjunct for seniors seeking to meet daily protein targets without reliance solely on animal sources. This protein, combined with rye's dense texture, enhances satiety and aids portion control, crucial for maintaining healthy weight and preventing overeating. Lignans from rye and seeds act as phytoestrogens, mildly modulating hormone activity. In postmenopausal women, these compounds may help balance estrogen fluctuations, supporting bone density and cardiovascular resilience. Additionally, rye contains betaine, trimethylglycine, which supports homocysteine metabolism. Elevated homocysteine is a marker for cardiovascular risk. Betaine assists its conversion back to methionine, contributing to vascular health. The fermentation of rye dough, often mixed with sourdough or yeast, further enhances mineral bioavailability and flavor complexity. Opt for 100% whole grain rye or mixed seed rye to maximize intact fiber and nutrient retention. Toast lightly and top with herring, smoked salmon, or avocado for heart-healthy omega-3s and monounsaturated fats. Number 4. Oat-enriched whole grain bread. Oats have long held a place of honor in heart-healthy diets, thanks largely to their beta-glucan-soluble fiber. By combining oats with whole grain wheat, spelt, or rye flours, oat-enriched breads deliver the structural benefits of strong gluten networks, alongside the metabolic advantages of oat fibers. A 2-slice serving of oat-enriched bread typically provides 1.52 grams of beta-glucan, enough to start lowering LDL cholesterol when consumed regularly. The FDA recognizes 3 grams of oat beta-glucan per day as beneficial for heart health. 2 to 3 slices of oat-enriched bread can get you halfway there. Beta-glucan forms a viscous gel in the intestine, trapping bile acids and promoting their excretion. To replace those lost bile acids, the liver pulls cholesterol from circulation, thus reducing LDL levels. Over time, this mechanism supports arterial flexibility and lowers atherosclerotic risk, a critical investment for seniors. Beyond cholesterol, oat-enriched bread nourishes the gut microbiome. Oat fibers act as prebiotics, fueling bifidobacteria and Faecalibacterium prausnitzii, species linked to anti-inflammatory signaling and SCFA production. These SCFAs reinforce the gut barrier, modulate appetite hormones like GLP-1, and may even influence mood regulation. For seniors managing appetite changes or digestive irregularities, this gut-nourishing effect can translate into more stable digestion and improved well-being. Protein in oats, approximately 5 to 6 grams per 2 slices, is of high quality, containing a good balance of essential amino acids compared to other cereals. This protein supports muscle maintenance and immune cell function, 2 areas where adequate protein intake becomes progressively vital with age. Oats also bring unique antioxidants called avenanthramides. These compounds exhibit potent anti-inflammatory and vasodilatory properties, helping to relax blood vessels and reduce blood pressure. Combined with the magnesium from whole grains, this can deliver a meaningful blood pressure-lowering effect for seniors. Flavor and versatility make oat-enriched bread a daily favorite. The slight sweetness and hearty texture pair beautifully with both savory and sweet toppings. Try nut butter and apple slices, or goat cheese with roasted red peppers. That wraps up our deep dive into the worst and best breads for seniors. Remember, ditch the ultra-processed, sugar-laced loaves and opt for slow-fermented, whole grain, or sprouted options to keep your blood sugar steady, your gut happy, and your heart protected. Which of the must-eat breads are you most excited to try? Drop your thoughts below. I read every comment. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more simple, science-backed health tips, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.